I need to live again, not just be sad. And that's the daily struggle. I miss my son so much, but I have so much for which to be thankful. And I want to share that part and the Gold Star memories.
My name is John Sipis, and I do radio in Tampa Bay for one of the major companies that you would recognize if I told you who it was. And I've been doing people issues events radio, hard news, for a very long time. I'm always asked if I have a favorite story, and the answer is no. I have only those that are more memorable. A couple of years back, I had a conversation with a wonderful gentleman who just a short time earlier had lost his son in Iraq, killed in action. The son's name was Josh Hager, and his father's name is Kris Hager. He has a dream to honor his son, to honor all of the families of those who have given their lives in service of this country in foreign wars. Kris, you miss your son.
It's interesting, this next week it'll be 5 years, and I miss him every day just as it was 5 years ago.
There have been moments of very deep depression on your side at that loss.
Yes, and it is interesting that I can't predict. I could never tell you the next event that might trigger either a great memory or sorrow. And that's the 5-year struggle, is to just know how to balance every day. Know that Josh is happy where he is. How do I go on with life?
And that's the story that we have here today, is that you made a decision that it is time to do something special to honor his life, not his death, but his life. And that harkens back to when you were a boy. You grew up on a golf course, Cherry Hills.
Well, I wished I'd grown up on a golf course called Cherry Hills, because it was where all the rich kids lived. But I grew up caddying at Cherry Hills in Denver, Colorado. A few months ago, I saw, just looking at the USGA schedule, that in 2012, the United States Amateur Golf Championship will be played there again. And I went, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be wonderful to go? And I thought, why not qualify and play? If you look at where the first tee is at Cherry Hills, one of the most famous golf courses ever, and look west towards the mountains, your gaze goes over Fort Logan National Cemetery, where my son is, and where my dad is beside him. In 2008, my dad passed away. He was a World War II glider pilot. So there's a lot for which I'm thankful. There's a lot for which I have memories, and I'd like to bring his memory forward in a healthy way.
Looking now to the training that you'll be going through in preparation for that, it includes what?
Well, when I brought up the idea of this to my wife, Wendy, I said the first thing I needed to do was find a couple of golf pros, hit a ball, and see if I had the skills, the basic tools that I could compete. And they both said yes. A gentleman named Charlie Darbyshire in Venice, and my swing coach, Doug MacArthur, at Tour Performance Golf, has come on board and says, yes, I can compete at that level. So we're working every day to get my game in shape so I can qualify for the amateur.
We're getting your game in shape, and you have the added advantage, not only being a strong guy who knows the game of golf, but you were a caddy on that very course, and you know every square inch of it.
There are courses that I don't know at all, and course knowledge is really important. Yes, it's changed a bit, but it will be like going home when I play there, and that's a huge advantage.
Special affection for the 18th hole.
When I was a junior high kid, one of my friends and I would sneak in at night into the lake and run our feet through the mud trying to find golf balls that the players that we caddied for had hit in there the previous day. It really is a lot of nice memories. And Mondays, the course was closed. We played every Monday 52 weeks a year, regardless of weather, if we could get a chance to play Cherry Hills.
So you return to the place that you call home to compete, to remember your son, and not just him, but for every family of a fallen hero.
This is for me about how I can heal and remain in contact with the Gold Star families. There are 4,400 men and women, John, who were killed in combat, and I don't want them to be forgotten. I want every Gold Star dad and Gold Star mom to know this country appreciates them still, that we as a group know our country cherishes the memory of our children. Sometimes it feels pretty lonely out there. And with getting through grief, we need companionship, we need comfort, we need the awareness of the American people that our children gave everything. I'd like to say my son wasn't willing to die for his country. He was willing to live for his country, and in that life there was risk.
Those who are watching this, the importance of this, not just for you, but for them as they're contributing to this memory of all who have fallen.
For the Kickstarter family, I really want to tell them thank you so much for helping. What we're going to use the funds that are raised for is not only the development of training DVDs. You're going to watch a 61-year-old prepare and train the golf part, the physical part, exercises and all, but really to document going through life as a Gold Star dad. And I want to be able to carry a Gold Star bag, an emblem everywhere I go, and let people that have never experienced or know. I get called, John, every time, oh, what's a Gold Star? America needs to remember and know what that means. 4,400 lives were given in service of their country, and we should honor and remember that. And as a dad, that's what my objective is. The benefit I get is healing, and to share the love that my son had for the game of golf and my dad. And as all things have, it really gets strange. I have a 3-year-old now, and I want Carson to see his papa taking a new step in life.
That is where I was going to take this next. You said 61 years old. I prefer to say 61 years young, because of the spirit that lives in me. No such thing as getting old. Eternally young in heart and in spirit. And God did bless you as you are at this point in your life, that your beautiful wife Wendy one day made an announcement. What?
Well, I wish it had been an announcement. We really thought she was seriously ill, took her to the emergency room in Denver, living in a hotel, and he said, "You're not ill, you're 5 months pregnant." And we went, "Oh my." And he said, "Yeah, would you like to see a wave?" And they did an ultrasound, and this little hand came up and waved at us. Carson was born December 1st, 2008. Obviously it changes a life, but no greater joy and no greater responsibility. And a connection. He looks at a picture of his older brother whom he never met and says, "There's Joshy." Mm-hmm. I want him to know the great part of Josh, not just the memory and the sadness.
The question that I would not know to ask, unless you just volunteered it, you came up here thinking to yourself, I need to say what?
I need to share how it is we can heal from loss. And the best way for me to do that is to return to something I dearly love, and that's competing and playing the game of golf. I know golf is just a game, John, but the sacrifice our families make isn't. It's serious. And so it's that combination. It's living, being willing to live again, not just being grieving again.
You have been through a very difficult 5-year period in your heart, trying to adjust at the loss of a man who was not only your son, but also a dear friend.
The week before Josh was killed, he was serving in combat, most dangerous part of Iraq. The phone rang and he said, "Hi, Dad. I just called to tell you I love you." Fortunately, that's the best memory I can hold on to and have every day. I know he meant that. I know that people around him knew that's how he lived his life.